so I'll call the meeting of the Local Options Tax Advisory Committee to order. This would be the February 11th edition. Committee members present, Bruce McMillan, Kiki Van Fitzgerald, and Sam Watto. Guest tonight and potential committee member is Jack Mead. Absent at this time is Jamie Gruhl. I'll keep an eye out for her. Okay. Any agenda additions or deletions that anybody may have? Oh, all good. Kiki, you good with the agenda?
Yeah, looks good.
All righty. And I don't see any members of the public on at this time. So we will continue on our merry way. So what I thought would be useful, and if you're, it sounds like you're in agreement with the agenda, is we really kind of take a deeper dive. We've talked this through a bit. We've gotten comments about the importance of education. I know, Bruce, you've weighed in on that and some others, but to look at our outreach plan meeting, what do you think we could do at town meeting? Start looking at in-person meetings. I think with press release and social media, you know, we've got a very good message that we put together for the town report that we could bolt off of. And then really start looking at the community survey. That's hence, once again, Kiki, we miss you, but I brought the sticky notes and pens so we could start brainstorming on that. And then we do have some action items that we need people to put their names by in terms of what you can see there, town examples, what it could potentially look like and validate that and so forth. And just a real quick FYI, I will be out of town on the 11th. We can either determine you're going to go ahead and meet without me, or we can just postpone until the following Wednesday. Okay. Very good. So let's just dive right into it. Town meeting 2026 outreach. I mean, I can give you, Kiki, how many town meetings have you been to here in Cambridge?
Just the one, and unfortunately, I am going to miss the one this year. I'm helping my mother, my elderly mother, move out of her house and move to Hawaii.
Sure.
So I will be here for that one. But yeah, I've been to one, and so
Okay.
yeah, it was enjoyable.
Well, sure. I can give you a little background of what other groups have done. They've done everything from putting flyers in the chair. They have put material out on tables. They have during the pauses now this may not be appropriate for the pause based on the work we've done, Jack.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it out there. They have asked for a little airtime, you know, when they're counting votes or things of that nature. Now, would giving an update on the local options tax and the work we've done be useful to, you know, I'd be happy to stand up and speak if we're in agreement. I don't know if we could keep it right to like 5-10 minutes. So those are the different things groups have done to take advantage of, you know, the 175 to 200 that do come to town meeting. One reason why people have put materials out in the lobby is, remember, our school budgets are voted by Australian ballot. So you have some traffic coming through all day from 7 to 7. So, so what are your thoughts there, guys? What in terms of taking advantage of that?
I don't know if we're ready to do it yet, Sam.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea to
put something out there, but
Yeah.
I would make it as general as possible, because it's a very polarizing topic,
Yeah,
and I think if you try to get a little too specific
yeah,
with it at this point, people are gonna come down one side or the other. And I think that, if you can keep it general,
let me just throw
And-
something out here.
and maybe just, talk about what would become, I'm assuming that if they're gonna do the lot, that it would require a special vote, they're not gonna wait till town meeting next year.
That is correct,
Yeah,
and that's
so-
based on our recommendation back to that.
Right,
In fact, to catch you up, Jack, one thing we have discussed is this would be probably a good opportunity. On our timeline, we see we probably could wrap up our work, April, May, well, we'll say May, June timeframe.
yeah,
And this would be a good opportunity for an evening vote,
right,
before the snowbirds leave and so forth. So anyway, yes, the short answer is yes.
okay,
And we're trying to get our work completed. So if the select board's in agreement to move forward, they could get it in prior to 2027 town meeting.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I just think I would keep it general, I think, to Bruce's point, that I'm not sure, from a committee standpoint, right, you're not determining yay or nay, you're just offering information.
That is our role.
And so I think we should kind of just stay in it, the committee should stay in that role and, just throw some general comments out there about it, what you're doing.
Right.
And then what next steps would be helpful, I mean, like maybe there are some in-person meetings, say, would you like to attend an in-person meeting? We're gonna have committee members available on these dates, or, check the website for these dates to meet with a committee member, and, I mean, just set it up so that people know that there's gonna be more information available, but that they don't have. I think if, the thing you wanna avoid is people making a decision right there,
Oh, right.
right? So,
I think too, it so let me run this by you then. Hang on, Kiki, I'm about to share a little something. So. I'm happy to, let's see, what's today, the 11th?
yeah,
Okay, thank you. What I'm hearing you say is we keep it general.
mm-hmm,
Okay. And that in so doing, hang on, let me see if I can. Chat, people, read, react, read more. Here it is. Okay. Window. Window. Okay, so what I could do, I would just take pretty much a reiteration of what our charter is what I'm showing up on the screen. And maybe a brief summation of what we submitted to the town report, which was really an elaboration of this.
yeah, the screen.
Oh, it's not? Oh, my apologies. Well, where's the clicker?
Yeah, it's right behind it.
Ah! Oh,
When they moved that, wasn't that over there before?
it was, okay. Yeah,
I'll get you to look at your thing or watch some alpine skiing, one or the other.
this is true. All right, so
Okay, there we go.
as a to-do, now, would you like, what we can do is we can have a general overview from the resolution and from our town meeting summation. In our town meeting summation, what we really emphasized, Jack, was kind of what our purpose is right there.
Yeah,
What our scope of work really is. Okay.
I think you got the wrong thing up there, Sam. That's off the state website.
No, this is our the
Oh, it is?
resolution.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but a lot of that was kind of copied and pasted anyway.
Oh, okay.
That what you submitted to town report?
I'm just kind of giving a brief overview.
Yeah.
We kind of reiterated what was here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we basically made it clear, there's three things you can vote on, okay? That you will be the ones voting on those three things.
Right,
And then we made it clear, I think, in our summation too, that what it isn't. You know,
right,
it's not like a quick example, it's not up to the select board to vote on this. You don't have to do all or nothing.
right.
You have to, we kind of said what it is, but then sort of flipped the script so people really were clear about what it's not. Now, do you think would it be useful or create unnecessary noise at this time to put in, like, if if the town were to vote on 1% on meals, what might that look like? If you were to get a $20 breakfast at Erica's, what would that look like? Or should we kind of leave potential examples out?
I have to say, this is sort of what I wanted to talk about. So during, sort of different, during, the physical year
Mm-hmm,
from 7/1/24 to 6/30/25.
mm-hmm.
Okay, there was like almost 11 million meals, 11 million rooms, and 2.4 million in alcohol.
Okay,
Okay, that was what the town of Cambridge collected.
right.
And there's really no comparable data for any towns. No one even comes close to the formulation that, of what, of those numbers. They're all different. There's no one that has like $10 million of meals and $10 million of rooms.
Right, I mean, Stowe would be too far ahead
It's
of
way,
us.
that's right, everybody's too far, and then there's some that don't have, someone that does like Waterbury's in there that hasn't, and they have they have a huge, Waterbury has huge rooms. And huge meals, but it's way out beyond our scope,
Okay.
total dollars amount.
So is it comparable, how necessary do you think it is? Instead of just looking at what we potentially have?
Well, what I'm trying to get, then the thing
That's a
that,
good question.
okay, and the other thing that comes down, if I read this report from the state correctly, in that there's like, for meals, there's 27 licenses in the town of Cambridge. And there's 10 rooms, and there's 16 bars.
What are they counting as the 10 rooms? It must not be there.
Well, see, Smugs could just have it in there as one.
One.
Yeah.
They could have it in there as one. And then, see, that's what I mean. And the meals is 27, which all these numbers make sense because the bar is 16, each bar is by its own. Doesn't matter. Every bar has to have their own liquor license.
Right, from the Black Bear to the whatever.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
their own-
Everyone has their own liquor, owns their own liquor license through the state. So what it sort of tells me, if I'm understanding it, the amount of money that's coming out of Smugs must be, of the rooms, must be 95%,
Really?
I would think.
Hmm.
Okay, because there's only 10, okay, people, and you look at how many people besides Smugs are there rooms. There's Sterling Ridge. Okay,
There's the inn.
there's the inn. What else is there?
Is that with,
So none of the
that
Airbnb,
Airbnbs or anything?
the Airbnbs aren't getting tagged?
That's a the Airbnbs is all on if you want to report it.
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
that's true.
interesting. So
So really, the one thing, the amount, if we look at this, the amount that this is gonna affect the residents of Cambridge,
Oh,
okay? I think it's very small.
small, isn't that interesting?
I think it's very small in overall.
Yeah,
You know, because, you know, you look at it, you know, I get the 27 meals, because that's all the convenience stores have to have a meals license if they're selling food,
Mhm.
okay? So that would mean, Cambridge Village Market, that would mean Maple Fields, that would mean all of those, you know. Hanley's, young, you know, and those,
Yeah.
Erica.
and the 16 bars are pretty, you know, are pretty, there's probably 16 first-class licenses
Right,
in town.
point of sale places when you get down to it, yeah.
To, and so, you know, then you look at the rooms and say, huh, it's only 10, and it makes sense, you know, Smugs is all probably under one,
So,
and I'm sure that Wyndham must have a license in there,
mhm,
because they gotta charge tax for rooms,
right.
so what is left is very minuscule.
And where'd you pull that from?
Off the state, out of the state website. It's kind of, I had a hard time with it and then trying to figure it out, but once I got to where I wanted, but the interesting thing was there was really no comparison, you know, dollar for dollar. Where, you know, just the,
But if we can prove, okay, so the question is, if we want to stay general with the town meeting, we'll call it content.
Mhm.
Do you want to start putting that piece of information in yet? Okay, so that's a.
no,
that's a-
I don't think that, but what I'm trying to say is that I think we need to formulate something down the road. Is how much is this gonna affect the taxpayer of Cambridge?
Right,
That's
a good point.
and it really isn't gonna,
we can prove that out.
it really isn't gonna affect you know,
AJ,
They first,
the day person.
Yeah.
Very, very much, I don't think.
right, which is actually speaks nicely to something the select board has discussed openly is that since we are a tourist economy, this is a nice way for our visitors to contribute to the town.
It's correct.
Right, exactly.
So it is correct, so.
Yeah,
So, but the other question that we need to, before we can really move on, we need to have a talk with people at Mugs and see if because this is where all the money's coming from.
correct.
If you know, just,
Or at least to validate this is where we're finding that way.
I would assume, if I understand the report from the state, that's what it means.
So just hold that thought for a minute. Welcome, Jamie.
I'm on time for the 7 o'clock meeting I had
You are?
in my head. I am so
Yeah.
sorry, you guys.
Where we moved from
Uh-huh.
was, just to summarize, if I'm hearing you guys correctly, and this won't take long to do. To take advantage of the presence of people that either attend town meeting or at least vote. We thought we put together a very brief flyer that's truly a summation of it's really just a summation of what we submitted to the town report, just to kind of, we're out there, we've been doing this work. Maybe we'll put in a little bit of, we're researching X, Y, and Z. We've been really looking at the strengths and weaknesses. And, you know, by the way, we welcome you to come to it and be on the lookout for community forums. Sound good?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Now, keep holding that thought. I got it down here.
I'm curious, is there a way? I looked at some of that
And I'm
information too, and I know
recording
it just
the meeting,
gave general numbers for sales, but I wonder if there's a way to determine, like, of the 10 lodgings, how much of the 11 million? Break that out, like, if it's true that 95% comes from Smugs, then 10.
I don't know if I don't.
What are the numbers you're referring to? I'm sorry, just to catch up.
So I went on the website on the state website
Yeah,
and got the physical numbers from July 1st, 24 to 6/30/25,
Okay.
okay, for a full year,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then you look at the numbers
Mm-hmm.
on the website,
Right.
and I look at Cambridge's, and it's got 10 million in rooms, approximately 10 million in meals,
Mm-hmm.
and 2.4 million in alcohol,
Okay.
okay? And then in there, and if I read this correctly, under the meals, it looks like, I think there's 27 licensees that
Oh,
contribute into
okay.
this. And there's only 10 rooms accounts, which sort of makes sense. And there's 16 bars, which makes sense.
And can I just, we'll just share with the others. I'm at the local options tax site. Is that where you found
Yes.
it?
Yeah,
So if you scroll down,
Yep.
where do they go?
there's,
Go,
Data and statistics?
yes,
yeah.
yeah, there.
Okay.
And then,
Actually, no, this takes you out of where we were. So you want to go back to the page. I believe that the local option tax details are on that page you were on. It's just down the page itself. So
go
continue
over.
going down, Sam.
Okay. Kiki, we're wanting to bring up what
Okay.
Bruce has been discussing with us. That's all.
Continue down.
No, we did it, where did I go? No, go back up, Sam.
Maybe it's not there here. I'm gonna look
It,
too.
it took me a while to find this.
Okay.
It took me to, and I meant to pull it up today. I just got busy with
That's
time,
okay.
or with
That's-
work
that's
stuff.
okay.
Well, maybe you click on that, open the local, it was,
No, that's just basic information.
let me see, businesses, can't remember where,
Bruce tax.
go down to local tax, keep going down on that column.
Okay.
Where is that local? There, click on that local option tax block. Down, see that one?
Well, that's the municipalities that actually
Have it.
have it.
I can't
Okay,
remember.
So
well, that's okay. Well, why don't you,
we'll find it. We can send it out to everyone to
Yeah.
take a look at. And again, I need to update the numbers that we have. in
but
here.
you're saying, okay, so I think we put to rest for town meeting. Now we're just talking about kind of
Mhm.
general to-dos, another action item. So you're suggesting, Bruce, we should take this data and meet with Smugs for some verification
So I'm
and so forth.
curious with the announcement today. Does anyone know if Burke is in a county that has local option tax
I-
already?
Let me see,
Well,
you
that-
can, I
that would-
think it
Because
is,
there's one little floater out there.
I think
and-
there is, I think it is, I think,
Cause if it is, then we probably have a better chance. Cause they're already familiar with it, right?
well, here it's easy. That's a,
I mean, I guess the other thing would be is to try to find out a list. You know, get a breakdown of maybe
I
they won't be
don't
able.
know, I don't know if you can get a list.
Well, I mean, it's,
well,
We might be able to get a list from from our town on who
I
has,
mean, we may not be able to get the breakdown of how much revenue came from each, but if we had a list of them, then you could find, like with your comment about the 10. I mean,
we could probably ask.
Is your goal to try and find who those 10 are, if that is a list?
I think,
Well, I guess the goal was is really to know how much Smugs contributes to
Mm,
this, to
okay.
these numbers is really the number,
I
because
mean,
that's,
a
right.
lot.
yeah, that's, my assumption is a lot too, from looking at these numbers, I'm saying it's
But-
big. I
But
mean,
what you're really suggesting too, the big picture is if we can verify that our out-of-town visitors will be the big contributor to
right.
this revenue.
it's which I think it is.
Then that could be a good piece of information for people to process as they decide how to vote.
Well, and I think it's important for us to validate that, because if we're gonna approach it or make the recommendation that we go for all three and let people decide which are the ones that you want, we're gonna have to very clearly outline, this is what this means to you as a local resident, right? Like sales
Yeah,
obviously are gonna impact you, right? Like as you make purchases around town. Food and drinks could potentially impact you as you go out for meals at the restaurants or
Right.
drinks at the restaurants. But tourism or the rooms and
Lodging.
lodging won't affect you. So that's a no-brainer for every single resident, I think, that lives here.
Yeah.
Though we want to do more than just that, because it's
We want
still
more.
only like
We would like to
$100,000 a year. It's not that much money, really.
Yeah.
Well,
The what?
if I could add,
The one,
The 1% is only $100,000 a year,
Mhm,
right? So getting that and the food and alcohol,
mhm.
that gives us a healthy budget coming in. Do you know what the total budget is of the town? Or maybe Tila, you know what the total budget is?
Yeah,
there is no Tila.
there is no-
Oh, I saw her name up there.
It's Kiki.
Oh, it's just Kiki. Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't see that there was an
Okay.
X by it.
Just, let's hit pause on that.
Okay,
Okay, we'll circle back on that as we go to action items. All right, I think we've got a good plan for town meeting. That will be a big lift to put together. Be looking for an email from me, and then I can work with the offices to get flyers printed. Okay, in-person meetings. What's people's thoughts about what they would look like? Would we do something as simple, we can hold it here? We can simply do FBF and postings to say, you know, but if these meetings would be to get probably one part educational
mhm.
and one part get their feedback, but. what are people-
Discussion, feedback.
Yeah, what are people, what does that look like to you all? And Kiki too?
Yeah.
When we say in-person meetings, I'll just throw that out to the group. What does that look like?
I think my thought is this could be a very charged topic for some
Sure.
people.
Mhm.
So I want to have a very clear goal
Yeah.
of what we do. I like what you laid out, education and then listening, but have time blocked listening. So someone can come in and talk for 2 minutes
Yeah.
and share their thoughts, and then somebody else can talk until, and for like a total time of 45 minutes or whatever that time limit is. Just so we don't end up because we're not the people that ultimately have a say in this, right? Like, we're just making
Offering
recommendations and we want to hear what you have to say, like,
right,
So we could have something that we've done in the past when there has been whatever there might, if it's something that's probably gonna get people out.
yeah.
We have had, well, at that time it was Jerry, but now it would be Joel. We have had the town moderator.
Mm.
Not that Joel would have to do a lot,
Yeah,
but what Joel could do is just say, okay, 2 minutes.
right.
You know, he could
Keep it
have
moving
a
along.
presence that people
Yeah.
would sense, oh, this is a little bit more
Yeah.
than me just coming in and.
I like that too, and it allows us to be a little more present in the conversation and not
right.
focus so much on like task mastering, and timekeeping,
Okay,
if that's something. And maybe we just see how the first one goes
Okay.
too.
so,
Well, I think, I know my wife was on the, Cambridge Community Center. And they just had one informational meeting
Mm-hmm.
and, I mean, whether or not you have more than one, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, that was, to Sam's point, that was obviously a kind of a controversial topic and
Mhm.
obviously got people out to vote, much like I think this one would. So, I guess the question would be is, do you want to put all your eggs in one basket and do it in one fell swoop? Or do you want to try to break it up, make
think we
it
try to
available
break it
for
up.
people at different times?
yeah, I think a couple would be fine.
Yep.
I
Sure.
mean, and I think, so, do you, again, we're gonna have to reschedule the 11th, if you guys are okay with it. Are you thinking you'd like to do something in April? Do you think we'll have enough good data to also share by then? I would think we would.
Well, I'm curious, because I know last time we talked, when we went through the SWOT analysis and came up with our final version of that, there were some action items about reaching out to some of the individual towns that
Yeah.
already did some of those.
Didn't really, when I looked on the website today and I was doing these numbers, I couldn't find any town that's really comparable.
I feel like Waterbury is, I mean,
High, it was too high.
like their numbers.
Yeah, they're like, their meals was like, their meals was like, right, like,
Yeah, they've got a lot of restaurants.
yes, and so the numbers really didn't, there's no town that really, when I looked at the numbers for Cambridge, and then I look at all the other ones, there was nothing really that comes close to matching.
So I guess my question is how important is it that they match, or is it more just the perspective of the process in which they went through? And like, we could have 3 targeted questions for them, like, one, what would you have done differently in your pitch to the community that you would like consider? How did you determine what your monies were gonna go to? And was that community-based, committee-based, and like what was the ultimate like goal of it? And then finally, like, how is it going since you've implemented it? Has there been any community pushback? Has there been any issues that you would be like,
Right.
ooh, I wish we had known about that? And just leave it open to several of the communities that are doing this, that we are,
So almost like a lessons learned.
yeah,
Sort of
like just the things that we
less-
can, like the pits that we can avoid.
Okay.
Is-
Okay,
Is-
yeah,
Yeah,
that
no,
makes,
I think
it
that's
makes
reasonable.
sense because there's nothing, because there's, I look,
Monetarily, I mean, it doesn't
I looked
necessarily
at
have to
Ludlow, I
match, I
said
agree.
Ludlow, maybe Ludlow would,
Yeah,
but no, Ludlow wasn't even close, what, they didn't, it just,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Okay, so let's,
and we all have our unique attributes, I think, that would like make it different in every instance.
Well, Ludlow would be a good one to
Yeah.
reach out to, because Ludlow, because if you look on Ludlow, what's it say, Ludlow, okay, just started it in July of 25.
Right, so they're
that-
fresh.
So they would be fresh, Ludlow would be, there's a couple on there, and Ludlow's a ski town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
it's
that was sort of
Winchester.
what took me to Ludlow.
uh-huh,
And that sort, and I thought maybe Waterbury would be a good one, but no, theirs was,
Yeah, well,
there's way too much meals.
yeah,
Way too,
yeah, if you were looking for comparison.
well, you're looking for a comparison, that, in Marlboro, I don't even,
But I think in terms of, maybe we don't have comparison number wise, but now you're switching the narrative, right? Jamie, if I'm hearing you.
I'm proposing it as
Yeah,
like,
No, it's okay. I mean, I got you. You're just suggesting, well, okay. Get out, touch with the folks in Ludlow from a lessons learned
yeah,
standpoint.
because I think we could even potentially just go to their administrations and ask them if they would, either connect us with somebody that could
I
answer these
wonder if you could
questions.
get Eric to send the letter.
Yeah,
As a town administrator from Cambridge to the other,
would-
to the other,
yeah,
to what towns we'd like him to
Mhm,
answer
mhm.
these questions. And if Eric could send the email, because there'd be a lot more clout.
yeah.
We would get a lot more clout if Eric sent it.
Right, we're getting a good scope here.
Cause I mean, I guess the only reason I wanna just pause for a second, Sam, if we can, is like, what is our goal in hearing from these others? Like, what did I don't have the SWOT up in front of me right now, but like, what was the line there specifically? I think it was like,
Well.
others have successfully implemented
Yeah.
this and how did they do that, right?
The action items that we captured was a lot would diversify the town's revenue sources and strengthen financial resilience.
Mm-hmm,
Action, show other town examples.
mm-hmm,
And then the other action was show example budgets based on historical data for the town of Cambridge.
right, which is the numbers that you came up with today. Well, hopefully we'll have more up to date for 2025
And
soon, but
So those, and then
I
the
don't
other.
really think so,
ones-
because nothing comes up
Here-
for, remember, it's only quarterly that they pay the,
yeah, that's right, and it's behind
And then
it.
so.
the third, I think this is what you're speaking to, Jamie. Other towns have implemented lots successfully, providing real world example and lessons learned.
Yeah.
So,
And we could even add a fourth question if we wanted to, like, looking back at the revenues, would you have done anything different in where you allocated it? Would you, I don't know, like, like, again, another lesson.
the revenue they generate,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like, would you, like, hindsight, and this could be even to some of those that have implemented it a few years back. Hindsight, would you have done anything differently with your allocations or your intentions behind the monies that, yeah,
Kiki, so where we're at is, I think this action item in terms of outcomes in other towns and lessons learned. As Bruce has shared, we don't really have the comparables per se, but be that as it may, Kiki, do you have any input at this time?
No, I guess the only thing I would sort of circle back to is, what do we want to accomplish at the town meeting day? I see it as an opportunity to really sell you know, the idea and sort of um, dissuade those who, you know, think it's a new tax and, you know, like all the kind of rhetoric that's going on around that, like to really like set the record straight, you know, ever so briefly.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're good there. I think the setting the record straight about what this is and what our work is. I think we've got good agreement there. And I'm gonna take that one and just do a quick summation, basically, of what we submitted for the town report. Because we know everybody reads the town report page to page. So I think we're good up there. Now we're like, okay, these in-person meetings, what would they look like? But then that kind of jumped us to the action items. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that maybe the reaction at the town hall meeting will give us some insight into what in-person meetings need to kind of be focused on. Um,
well,
and again, we've got people who are going to be implementing the tax because they provide goods and services, and then people who would be paying the tax potentially, or not, you know, people, residents of the town. So, I mean, I guess it's, you know, it's great to say we want to have in-person meetings. Why couldn't we just invite people to our meeting and have that opportunity there to, you know, talk with people, and then maybe identify some key stakeholders like Smugs or whoever, business, maybe have one just for business people where we can really drill down their concerns and their, you know, questions.
That's what I was wondering, is one that is exclusively for the business community and those impacted by the collection.
all right, well, all right. So, a couple things here then. First things first. Who can take a hold of, working with Eric on drafting a letter to what towns do you think? I'm gonna share it up. Let's put that kind of, let's get that in somebody's bucket to do and work with Eric on. Okay? So the,
Going to be like an email, so it's going to be from Eric to other select boards. What is?
he could contact other town administrators and basically find out, you know, from them either who the best person is to talk to, or, you know, he could be our point person is what we're trying to say. So
If somebody would write the letter,
If I can,
if
I can
somebody
take
could
the,
write the letter, I
Mhm.
could go, I could go see Eric.
okay,
okay, go get see Eric, and if you could maybe,
But somebody needs to write the letter.
can we pick several towns that we
That's what I
like?
would think. I would
from-
think that we would pick the towns and we have a letter and and somebody, I can't compose the letter,
I
so.
can draft a letter. I can use GPT to help us draft a letter based on the
Okay.
conversation we just had. If
Yeah.
you guys are good with like kind of what I propose as far as the questions, and we can look
Yeah.
at it as a committee
Yeah,
and say like, does this actually like achieve the goal that we have for this?
okay.
and so I would think we wanna do Ludlow.
Yeah,
Well, let's go back. What are the four, just in general terms, the four questions?
I don't remember what I said.
Well,
They were good though. They were good.
They were good. That's why I'm gonna use
What
the
did you learn
recording.
from
Yeah,
doing through the local? And then, you know, kind of what would you have done differently?
yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna draft that letter. Okay, and then Bruce is gonna work with Eric on getting it out to Ludlow.
Mm-hmm. Pull that other one, pull that back up.
Kiki, we lost you for a minute, but now you're back. Can you hear us okay? We lost our internet connection.
Yep.
Kiki, okay. So Ludlow,
I would think Ludlow would be one.
yeah, Manchester's another heavily
I think
toured
if
town.
it was something, I should have printed that when I had it out.
I mean, Manchester's a real good example.
No, I didn't really because it doesn't have, Manchester has a lot of retail.
Okay, so yeah, that's true.
Manchester has a lot of retail, not a lot of,
Well, I mean, Stowe certainly could be a place to contact.
their numbers are just way,
Right. But again,
way above.
Right,
And
we're
then
trying-
and then the person in.
Yeah.
Well, Stowe says July 23, so Stowe might not be a bad one,
yeah,
because it's only since 23, so.
and we, again, we're not looking for necessarily the comparable. It's more
Yeah.
we're taking it from,
process and how it's.
yeah,
how
what
it's
are the-
handled. Yeah.
where the thing we agreed upon, the action item was validate other town outcomes and what can we learn from them? So again, with that context. All right, so,
So,
okay,
um,
Woodstock.
uh,
Well, here, municipalities that are just meals and rooms. Dover, so certainly that's where Mount Snow is.
Montgomery's what, Jay?
Ah,
Montgomery, but Montgomery,
Montgomery might be good.
What is your hesitation with that, Bruce?
there's something that was funky with Montgomery's numbers when I looked at them. This was, I think the alcohol was way low.
That's because probably the licenses are more up on the mountain, weren't they? Because there's only a couple of
Yeah,
venues in Montgomery.
yeah, it is.
Just Montgomery kind of catches one's eye because of,
How about water? Why why don't we do Waterbury?
okay. All right, those are probably three good ones, and then we'll see what we get back. Now, I will.
So what are the three? Sorry.
Ludlow, Stone, Waterbury. I'll throw out just something to consider, although they're, they have much more retail than we. I mean, Morrisville is in the process.
Mhm.
They're few steps ahead of us. Well, they're doing it right at the select board level. Do you want to contact Morrisville and see if they have any?
Morrisville only had, when I looked at the Morrisville numbers, they didn't have any rooms.
Right, okay.
They didn't have any rooms.
All
They
right.
had, they just had, Morrisville only has really,
Yes, alcohol.
meals and alcohol.
Okay, well, let's leave
That's
it.
how come it didn't,
Killington has rooms, meals and alcohol.
Well, Killington would be, the good thing about Killington would
they
be.
just rescinded it, didn't they, in Killington?
Oh, did they?
I
You
thought-
should be pretty much up to date, hang on. About that.
Where's
Keep-
Hartford?
Hartford. is
Over by
in-
White River.
Okay.
Over by White River.
Well, you would think this is pretty, well, oh, you're right, look at that.
Maybe we
See?
email them and we ask them why.
I bet you it has to do something with the ski area.
Interesting. Interesting,
I
interesting.
bet you it has to do something I bet you it has to do with a ski area and some deal that was cut in the back door.
Oh, you know that.
Well, let's put.
I wouldn't, cause you
It
know,
would be interesting to, oh, look at this now, as we look at this, municipalities that have the 1%. You gotta look a little more carefully, Montgomery just rescinded.
yeah, I knew, see there, that's what it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I knew there was something funky about Montgomery and
Oh, that would be it.
Okay, all right, so that's probably a good list to include Killington. Well, actually, let's throw Montgomery in there because they're,
Well, I think the letters to Montgomery and Killington should be different though.
yeah, those have to be slightly different. You with us, Jamie? Those are rescinded ones, so why did you end up rescinding? And what to, there going to be a decision. As we know one thing, although could be potentially a good source of revenue, it's not really going to impact the tax rate per se.
Right.
So, okay, good. All right, we got that squared away.
I
Okay,
understand what Sam said.
Yeah, about the rescinding.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have.
versus,
okay.
okay.
We are coming up to 7:24. How's everybody doing on time?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to keep us too late. All right. In-person meetings, let's go back to that. So it sounds like clear goal, one part education. Let me ask you the question this way, would it be better if we had more concrete work done, which included our survey? And then we launch the in-person meetings. And I'm only saying that because, you know, it could be a good takeaway for people to then also know, oh, well, I've gotten it here to share.
And talking, or is it just the delivery
This
of
is
the?
asynchronous effort. There will be materials there
I think it,
for people to gather round, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Good question.
so I think we need to figure out the meals licenses, the rooms licenses, and the bars and liquor from the, you get who these people are, who pay these. And I would think that we could ask the town clerk for that information.
I mean, they must have it, right? Cause
Yeah,
the towns must have, do they pay it directly to the state?
no, they pay it to the town. You get, your license goes to the town.
Right, but I'm saying that the 1% tax all gets paid to the state, and then
Yeah.
it's back to 75% back to
Yeah,
the town.
but your licenses goes through the town.
Town.
All your licenses goes, actually,
Didn't Jamie already have that info for some reason? I felt like that was collected before. Jamie, am I wrong? Frozen. Frozen.
because you have a Board of Health license,
Well,
and that's connected to that.
Okay, I tell you what, I don't think we're quite ready from what I'm sensing to flesh these in-person meetings, et cetera, out. So
Yeah, maybe we'll give it a.
we seem, which is fine, we're focused on the action items. We've got this letter sorted out. Now, the other action item is kind of along the lines of what you've been talking about. But I think there's more to it. So Bruce, you're suggesting this report you've run, that's an item, action item, which has two pieces to it.
Has
One-
one pieces really.
Well, what are the pieces?
Okay, one is to figure out the room and meals licenses in the Cambridge. They're all, the, just the rooms licenses in Cambridge and the bars.
Well, wait a second.
Who are these licensees?
And how many is that again?
So there's, I'm saying that there's 27 meals licenses,
Okay,
10 rooms licenses,
okay.
and 16 bars.
Liquor or bar.
Yeah,
Okay,
and who these people are.
Would it-
So if we figured out who these people are, then we could sort of extrapolate the numbers. Then we would know how much Smugs' contribution
Right,
is to the pie.
would, just a quick question, would that also include the liquor store?
No, that liquor store, that's different. That's state.
different
The state owns that.
Entirely, so we.
Because they only get, like whatever they. Doug and Darlene only get 5% of that sale.
But that has nothing to do with local options tax.
I don't think it does. I don't, to be honest,
Just curious, okay,
I'm not sure to Sam. I don't know that answer on that one.
all right.
So who are,
Show me a town with local option tax, I'll go buy some, a bowl of booze and.
so
See if it's got 1% on there.
Should stay. Well, you can tell it very easily, it's gotta be different, Sam. That's gotta be, that one, if at Hanley, at Doug and Darlene's, that would be under the sales tax,
would be,
because it's not bars, it's different.
Who are Doug and Darlene?
they're
Doug
the
and Dar-
owners.
That own the liquor store,
Oh, okay.
okay? Doug and Darlene own the liquor,
Well-
so the liquor store is different than bars,
Right,
Right.
okay?
it's more of a retail transaction.
Yes,
Okay,
okay,
gotcha.
okay.
Fair enough.
So I don't know where that, if they charge it there, or how much they charge for I mean, I don't know where it falls in the
Yeah,
whole thing.
but it's not anything that a local options tax
No, I think I think that goes under, sales and use.
sales. And
I think at the liquor, that goes under sales and use.
All right, so we got a pretty good action item here, which is to verify the 10 room, 27 meals, and the 16 liquor license. Who wants to take that on, to chase that down?
And I can work on it,
We'll put Bruce by that.
because I think I'm assuming that the bars would be under, I think we need my, goes under tobacco and alcohol.
So,
I think that goes under tobacco and alcohol division. So that would come from the state,
okay,
okay? The bars would come from the state. The room and meals would come from the Board of Health.
were you talking about the licenses themselves?
Yeah, because that's how you track it back.
Right.
And the rooms, I got no, that one for me is foreign.
All right, so you're gonna take on that one too. Who are
Yeah.
these people with the? With the outcome, if it's 95, if it's a
So do you
huge
think that
percentage, it's not.
Anybody at the tax office where this information is gathered would have a list of the facilities that, even though the town, they've gathered that data.
It's,
don't-
and so, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's interesting. I found the data source. I'll put it in the notes. But they say on here that information pertaining to fewer than 10 accounts has been suppressed to protect the confidentiality of the taxpayer information. I don't think they're gonna give you any of the details
Okay.
if you contact them. And maybe they would, Eric, if we had Eric contact them. But I don't think us as citizens on a committee, they're gonna give us the like the actual numbers so that we can quantify like what was Smugs.
Well, I think it's
Well, we're not looking
public
for the-
knowledge. I think I think the bars in Cambridge and the room and meals under the Board of Health, who own the
Yeah.
Board of Health licenses is public knowledge.
Right, but not their sales.
No, I'm not
Not-
asking.
We're just looking for a list of the established.
Oh, okay.
We're just
Not a
looking-
breakout.
No, I'm not.
Trace it back on the licensure, which will
Okay.
tell them the establishment, which will then let us compile who's doing what.
Right.
So,
So if we know who the players are,
right.
then we should be able to figure out, like on the rooms, we're gonna find out where that money comes from.
Right. With the hope, if it plays out the way we think it could play out, it's just a piece of information that people can understand the impact on the local. Okay,
Right.
so we got that. We got the letter. We got me doing the overview, which is basically gonna, Kiki, just so you know, it's gonna be very asynchronous. Just one pager out on a table or in the chairs. Our names will be on it. So since I'll be there, I may get some questions, which is fine. I know I'll either meet some new players, but I have a sense of who some of the players are, which is the point of town meeting anyway. So we got that. Okay, now. We kind of modified the town examples to more go lesson learned. Okay, I think we want to get to a point where we can show based on historical data, what it's gonna look like for Cambridge. Does anybody want to take that one now? What could it potentially look like for Cambridge?
I already have that, so.
Yeah,
I think
that-
you think Jamie already has that
Okay,
information.
Jamie's got that, right? Okay. All right. I think that is more than enough for one evening for us to chew on. I mean, there's certainly more as we go forward. The only other thing we need to do is, could you all potentially meet, instead of on the 11th, could you meet on the 18th?
The 18th of
March?
March. Sure.
That's good for me.
Fifth would be too late. Okay,
That work for you, Sam? Are you back?
yeah, this is just a little 3-dayer thing, but it happens to be the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Let's see. 25th is getting too close to the week of following. Well, what?
Can I mean, like, if we did pause for a month, would it be the end of the world?
It would not
If we can all go and do our
do our work.
work and maybe do an interim, like, check-in the month,
Yeah.
middle of the
You're
month,
gonna
where,
letter, you're doing quite a bit of research. Mine's pretty straightforward, but what I can do too, with that little bit of pause, is, you know, it's the community survey type things. Some of these other things can be done via email as bid with presents. So, sure, what do you guys think of that? Do you just want to pause?
yeah,
The other thing about pausing is the select board will reconstitute itself in March, and then our new liaison will be able to join us in April.
okay,
You guys good with
that
that?
sounds good.
And if Jack will give you about, you got a choice, 24 seconds, 24 hours.
What?
To decide. Just kidding. You take the time you need.
Yeah, no,
I just need
I
to
like,
know.
I like this because unlike the other committee, this one here is leading to some action,
Yes,
whereas the other one was very
we'll see what happens.
gray areas.
Yeah,
So,
we got some good things done, but it was very.
yeah, but no, I mean, this I see coming to a culmination with a vote. And, you know, I mean, I think the date is more concrete. And,
So- I just have to let Cody know that you'd like to join,
sure.
and you now.
Is you gonna vet me? Might have to
No,
get
you
better
know how
than-
they work. It's going to be.
Very thorough.
It's going to be even simpler than that, and you can even dial in if you want. Actually, they're going to have probably one more select board meeting. What did they have? Select board first and third. So they're gonna have a meeting on the 17th, which you could either attend or log in on. And basically, you know what they'll ask, why do you want to do this? Thank you for your service. And that's about, you know, how it evolves.
Okay,
Okay, but they do have to do some formal action.
whatever.
Okay, so I'll let Cody know that you either, and what, a nice thing that they do is they'll do that like at 6:35.
Get you in and get you out.
Right,
So the 17th, that's next Tuesday then?
that's next Tuesday, or I'll double check with them. Okay,
Can I just ask one question?
Sure.
Can we put like a milestone for us on the calendar for when we want to have this done? Cause I think one thing we could potentially do is just keep kicking the can more and
absolutely.
more. I know we kind of have roughly September, but I don't feel like we need that much time. Frankly, like getting these letters out and giving them like a 2-week turnaround request on them, and getting those back and then, you know, coming together and compiling them and having the live sessions. I think at that point, it's like literally us putting our nose to the grindstones and knocking out what our recommendation is to the community or to the select board.
And between now and then, you gotta get some community meetings in.
Right, and that, so we want to give like,
Work,
have a month for
survey
that.
work.
And, but the community meetings and the surveys can happen in tandem.
Sure.
Um,
So May 6th at that's just our next meeting time. I mean, we could
Mhm.
say by, I mean, here, I'll just throw some dates out that seem workable. We could say by, May 29th.
So we have April 8th to meet, come back together, right? Hopefully we can have those letters back from the other
May
towns
6th,
and then May 6th.
right? And we could submit record, if you want. We could plan that June 2nd is when we're gonna submit our recommendations.
Why June 2nd?
I'm just throwing it.
Is that a board meeting?
That's a
or a
select
select
board meeting.
How about June 16th?
Okay,
That gives us our standing June 10th meeting for like final preparation. And then tentatively, June 16th as the date of delivery to the select
I
board.
think that's great. And keep in mind,
We can always push it out, but I just want to give us
no,
something to work towards.
and I didn't wanna, and Kiki, I hope you're reading this too. Just like we did, like. The,
Kiki's not here, she signed off.
oh, she did.
Yeah.
Okay, just as a quick thing, like the way we did our submission for the town report was, here it is. If you got feedback, let me know and so forth. But that wasn't a decision, that wasn't really a big, heavy decision making thing. We weren't hiding anything from the public. So as we continue with the work, the barometer is transparent. But, and you guys work really well together. There just can't be any appearance of Jack and I sort of working on the side, almost lobbying why we should be doing this. You know that, you've been down that road before. But anything that's an FYI, like, here's my letter, guys, what do you think? Bruce saying to us, okay, I did find who these belong to, anything that'll save time as we work. That's just information.
Right.
So, or even like we did, remember we did the survey and it was like, here are the questions. What do you all think? And we moved on. That type of stuff. So anything that's informational.
I think if we're pushing it out 2 months for the next meeting, maybe we should try and compile the questions for a survey.
Okay,
Because if we want to end it by June.
Yeah.
Is what we're aiming at. We need to get the questionnaire out,
prior to,
right? So I would say sometime in April.
yeah, absolutely.
So if we could sort of nail down some questions since it's,
Let me talk to Kiki about that, see if she'd be up for putting together the questions. So-
okay, but that's all I'm.
No,
because-
that's a very good.
Because if we're going out 2 months.
Yeah.
Even though we're gonna do these action items, we need to, and if we don't start thinking about that survey to get out sometime in, I would say the middle of April by the
Yeah.
sounds of it.
And that takes that in and of itself, you have PR, you have collection. You have some more PR, yeah, okay, that's a real like, here it is, oh, did we tell you?
So I think the goal of the April meeting would be to have the questions
Questions ready to go.
ready to go for a survey
Okay, let me
For
talk,
review at
Yeah,
that meeting.
at
Okay.
that meeting.
And I'm also thinking like June may be too aggressive. Like it may be, we hold the meeting, we prepare stuff in June and then we deliver it in July.
so if they agreed on it in July, just for fun, let's just say they agreed, yep, this is it. They would then need 30 to 60 days to warn the vote, and they would probably want to do it in September.
Okay.
If the town approved it in September, what type of clock does that then set with state?
September would mean that the first eligible
90 days,
90 days. So if
be Jan 1.
maybe January 1,
Correct, and then, well, the
depends on the
vote,
date.
yeah, so let's just say for fun that the vote is done,
So what's 90 days from January 1? Go back. what is 90 days from January
October 1st.
So it'll be
Yeah.
October, yeah.
to October 1st.
But any vote, you've got to have a 30-day, someone can put a petition out. So they can't, if it gets through that, as soon as they could submit, or if they submitted by October 4, then they're ready to go in January of 27. Okay,
So we're cutting it awful close.
we are.
We're cutting it, we won't make it.
Well, again, I
Because
mean,
if the vote is to September, then you got 30 days.
They got.
We're gonna be, we're,
So it'd be more like February of 27.
no, it's quarterly. So you would miss, you wouldn't get it until
April.
March.
it would start April 1 would be
Yeah.
the next roughly
Would
90
be-
days, and then it would be paid out, like we would get the first installment the next 90 days.
So I
So,
think,
but that's not really.
I think a calendar just to show the select board how this plays, but I'm just making that. note.
So when is there, are there any midterm elections for Cambridge?
Yes. Lucy will be up and Richie will be up. So if you did it a November vote,
I think you'd be better,
but wait, it's still a voice vote. So that the elections would have nothing to do with it.
It's a voice vote?
No, it
You
isn't.
sure?
No, it
Not for
isn't.
those positions.
Not for those positions.
No, I'm sorry. This will be a voice vote.
You sure? The
Yeah.
community center wasn't. I don't think.
That's
I mean,
because that was a special type of election for
This
property.
one can't be. This one has to be voice vote. We looked at this last time.
oh,
Has to be. a
It's
voice vote.
required to come from the floor.
Yeah, so I assume,
So September's a good, yeah,
yeah,
be neat if we did things.
I thought it had to be a ballot.
Nope,
No, this one has to be from the floor.
this is from the floor. This is the way we transact municipal business with the exception of real estate.
Oh, I thought it had to be on a ballot.
No. Huh. No.
You know, nobody's gonna come to that meeting.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, they're gonna, I
They
think
will.
if it's
They're
an
gonna be very
evening
vocif-
meeting and we do
they're
our
gonna be
own,
very vociferous.
yeah,
And it could be, honestly, guys, like, it could be that the select board says, hey, this is important enough, we're gonna wait for town meeting next year. And we do it at town meeting next year. I mean,
well, let's,
No, you're right.
let's keep doing our
I-
work and.
but, yeah, I still wanna get it
I
done.
thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be a ballot.
No, this is. a
We
voice-
talked about it, we talked in hopes that we could do it as like an Australian ballot, but we
No,
looked into that.
This type of business is transacted via voice.
Huh.
Okay, well, one final
Huh.
piece of business. I know you all read Jamie's
Hmm.
very fine minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the January 14th meeting minutes.
I approve them.
Okay, Bruce motion. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Very nicely done. It's the comment. Good. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving, you don't get to quite vote yet.
But I know, I'm fine.
Aye.
Aye, let the record show that it was unanimous. And then you're all good, Jessica sent that nice note out about when they have to be submitted by.
5 days, yeah.
Thank you,
I'll do
Jamie.
my best.
And,
What time did you guys start?
6:30.
Cool.
So, and now you can contact Eric for where this